Tom Keller. I'm an industrial designer with landscape structures. Paramount to the design of the equipment was the sound. That's what the #1 thing that we concentrated on. And of course, along with that comes the construction of the equipment. So the durability, how it lasts in an outdoor setting, that is who we are as a company, and that's what we concentrated on. The mechanics that were involved in each of the pieces in the music line really employ a very, again, sophisticated and yet simple element in how they're attached to the steel backer, to the actual placement and the node points of each note, and how we can hold them rigidly in an outdoor environment. And again, how they're going to last. What's going to make this so much different than what's currently in the field. So this simple element right here, we went to a urethane overmolded sphere on an aluminum shaft that's been swaged onto this cable that's attached firmly in position. Our equipment is going to meet playground standards. And with that, we wanted to make sure that if a child is using the equipment and they were to somehow come down here and get their head in there or their neck in place, then we've devised this, what we're calling a quick release mechanism, so that simple force is applied and it pops out of the holder. I mean, more than that, it just simply comes out. What also makes this unique is we've provided a place to put the mallets every time after they've been used, and that's going to help the groundskeepers, the maintenance people. The beauty is in the actual mechanics of the equipment. Inside of this tube, and of course you can't see it, but there's a hook assembly that attaches to the two node points. They control the actual tonal quality of the pieces or the notes. There is a spring tensioning device that provides very stable conditions for it. We don't want this to turn into a wind chime. We want this to be actual notes that, you know, the neighbors aren't going to want to hear this thing late at night if the wind is blowing. So that's one of the reasons why we employed that device. As with all the pieces, we used anthropometrics consistent with wheelchair users to have them be able to wheel up, have access to the equipment, and to be able to use it as the full range. It's important to us every time we design something for landscape structures that we consider the ability of all users. Aesthetics were, of course, a very important consideration that we made. All of the nuts, bolts, fasteners, etc. are not visible. We of course use them. They're a very important part of each of the designs, but they're not easily apparent. And we wanted the designs to be very clean, very aesthetically pleasing, contemporary, and so all the material choices, including the fasteners, etc., were part of the design aesthetic. For as simple as these look, this is one element that we spent a lot of time on. What we used is a polycarbonate skin that is literally stretched over a spun steel sphere, or not sphere, but vessel rather. And along with that, because it is under tension, we're able to produce a more true drum sound. Holes can form one thing that's really important in a playground setting. It's a place for bees to go. So if this was left open, the sound would be just as good, but we would invite critters, bees, spiders, etc., to the inside of these vessels, and that's something that we didn't want. Here it is, LSI's new music line, what we call Rhapsody. 6 different components, each unique, each has a different sound, each is true to LSI's commitment to quality, durability, and most importantly, good looks.